Tell me about your initiative.
So 15 years ago, on the sidelines of the Copenhagen COP, a bunch of parliamentarians got together and said, we want to make better climate laws. But we're not even sure what we have on our own books. They commissioned the London School of Economics to write them a small booklet called Climate Change Laws of the World. And then they got together and learned from each other and talked to each other. We grew this project to represent every national law, policy, action plan, strategy, NDC, biennial transparency report from every single government on the world. But policy reports are long and messy, and there are lots of languages, and an average policy document is 80 pages. How do we read it? How do we read these highly technical documents if we want to negotiate, to make better laws, to hold our governments to account, for civil society to later hold policymakers and corporates to account, for corporates to learn from each other about transition plans. I'm of course expanding it from the policy documents to all of the things that we need to read. Enter AI. We are now able to put in millions of pages in one place, read them, make sense of them, and replace the control find renewables with advanced tools that can help us find information very quickly. So Climate Policy Radar is an organization, a not-for-profit organization that I founded 4 years ago, doing exactly that. It marries this world of climate action with advanced technology, taking these two and making them a responsible tool for climate action. That enables anyone who's interested in any reading and anything that contributes to better decision-making, informed decision-making, to have access to a verified set of documents in which structured information can be found very, very quickly. We add on top of that, we're starting to add on top of that generative AI. We want to summarize these documents so we can have quick access to them, so we can learn quickly from them. This is something that goes beyond policymaking. When you think about risk analysis for accountability, for investment decisions, for insurance decisions, for lending decisions, understanding policy, understanding the legal environment, understanding the corporate transition planning is critical. And being able to do so fast and have that free, because part of our issue is accessibility and availability of the data and access to these resources, and the ability to insert a climate justice angle to that and say this is free for all so anyone can access these documents and they're not behind a paywall is critical to our mission. When we talk about responsible tools, we talk about two things. First, we want to know that we're reading the right documents. That we read policies that are indeed on the books and not someone's blog who said, yes, this is the policy in country X or Y. So there we work with verified, trusted partners, with the Grantham Institute of the London School of Economics, with the New Climate Institute, with the UNFCCC, with the UNDRR, who talk about disaster risk policies. And there we take and verify these documents with humans, making sure that these are indeed the policies, the laws, the action plans that we need. Adding to that is, how do we do the structured data? If I want to know something about the just transition, I don't just do control find just transition in a document. I want to have all the references to consultations with worker unions as well, because that is a part of the just transition. There, again, we work with a trusted network of experts. Our team in-house, their job is to take that expertise, learn from it, and translate it into tools that the data scientists can then build in order to automate that process of identifying that. So we take those taxonomies or ontologies, or what do we mean when we say something, and translate that. All of that is human verified. We run massive evaluations, and we put everything in as open data and open source code. Everything is available, and we actively invite people to come and check our bias, tell us what's missing, tell us what we've done wrong, and collaborate with us to make this better. So what can people do with this? Think about people walking these halls, stepping into a negotiation. One thing they want to know is, what are the positions of the others? What have others committed to in their NDCs? How are they going to find out? Well, they can go on our tool, and look at, Mongolia's NDC, and look what they've said about combating desertification in that. And then they know Mongolia's position on it. They can go on the EU's finance commitments. They can go on all of these documents and very, very quickly find information. So when you're looking for an anecdote, when you're asking when you're writing a new policy and you want to know who has worked on subsidies for electric vehicles in Southeast Asia, you can find that. When you are thinking about holding policymakers to account, you want to ask, what are the regulations around methane leaks in certain areas? And you want to check who doesn't have them. And if they have them, maybe they haven't implemented them. Not everything can be done within the tool. This is about collaborating with other organizations, researchers, others who have different types of data in order, of course, to make sure that these policies and regulations are implemented. But that is a very good place to start. And when we go to corporates, to insurance companies, to lenders, and to investors, understanding what is the regulatory environment, and also coming soon in 2025, corporate disclosures will also be a part of the platform. So annual reports by the major emitters, looking at what they have committed to, and looking at the regulatory environment, allows understanding what is the risk. Is this company exposed to risk because they have not addressed climate change in their policy? Are they exposed to a litigation because they have not taken sufficient measures to do something, or because they are violating a variety of policies and laws? So there are multiple avenues in which these can be used. This is the ecosystem service that serves multiple use cases, including for citizens who can learn what their governments are doing and go and take civil action in order to ask their governments to do more. So how is this different from generic generative AI technologies? First of all, the basic technologies are incredible because understanding human language enables us to do all of these things. But when you go on tools like ChatGPT or Claude or any other large language model, and you're getting an answer, you don't know what are the documents on which your answer is based. How do you know if this is some random report or this is a verified government document? Our tool helps you only look at verified documents, and you can know exactly what they are, methodologies that are open. And ChatGPT and the other large language models would not have the domain expertise. When you say renewable energy, you may not have the exact terminology in ChatGPT that enables you to do that, or finance instruments, or loss and damage, or whatever the jargon that is walking around these halls and in the climate action community worldwide. And we are able to take that jargon, because we are deeply embedded in the climate community and collaborating with the experts, in order to train specific models to say, what do we mean when we say just transition, financial instruments, NCQG, and all of the wonderful terms that are not in the generic models. What we do is we take the basis of technology and we fine-tune and we add and we curate it to make sure that it is fit for the purpose and fit for the need that we are doing. We are not inventing anything from scratch. We don't have time to invent anything from scratch. All we need to do is make sure that we're putting this to good use and taking this in a way that is helpful for our users. When we build those tools, we also build in the transparency mechanisms to allow them to understand how verifiable and responsible the answers are. So when you look at our generative AI, you can see immediately the original paragraph from the original document that allows you to see, is the answer true? And maybe it's not accurate, and that's fine, but then you have the exact paragraph that allows you to know, so you can trust it. I'm also very happy to say that on Finance Day during this COP, we've launched a shared platform for the 4 multilateral climate funds, putting all of the project documentation from all the projects that they finance in one place. The ability to have access to that information will improve the access to finance for all of those who need it, and will increase the transparency and accountability and bring more efficiency and more transparency to this process. Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.